You're on now. Yeah, let me give you some more light. That should be good, right? Yeah, you're on now, so you can take it away when you're ready. Talk about whatever you want.
Okay. Now you put me on the spot.
I'm sure you're used to that. You're an actress after all. Right?
This is actually the first acting gig I've been in. I started off doing more modeling.
Okay.
Actually.
How did that start?
That started with a podcast with me and an old friend of mine. Not so much friends anymore, but we started the podcast, and it was just like two cute girls pretty much just talking smack, being best friends.
Okay.
And from that, we got a lot of attention from like different brands and different companies.
This was on YouTube or something? Or?
Actually, we just had it on Spotify. It was just an audio podcast, and we did a couple videos and stuff. But
an audio podcast that landed you a modeling gig.
Yes,
that's interesting.
Yeah,
okay.
It's one of the people that we interviewed. We actually just went on spurts on Instagram and whatnot, just finding people we thought were interesting, and just messaging them and saying, "Hey, we've got this podcast. Would you be interested in being a guest?" And most of them said yes.
I'm guessing this podcast no longer runs?
Not anymore, but I still like the connections we made from it are still like some of my lifelong friends now. And from that, like I said, we interviewed Naveen Dominic, who was a South Sudanese lady who came here and couldn't find makeup for her shade. So she created a whole makeup line for like colored people just to have our own kind of products out there available.
Interesting.
So we interviewed her with that. And from there, she invited us to the African Fashion Week in Toronto. And so we went out there and did some interviews and kind of helped her out with the models there. And then one of the designers that was at that fashion show, she saw me and she was like, "Hey, like I would love for you to come to New York and do New York Fashion Week with my designs. And like, can you be in New York in 3 days?" It's like, yeah, all right, I can make it happen.
Okay.
So in 3 days, I was flying to New York to walk a 75-foot runway for New York Fashion Week.
Okay.
And so that became kind of crazy. And just from there, I had clothing brands message me. And
just from that one show, they saw you
just
there.
From
like,
that show,
all right, who is this person?
Just from pretty much.
We need her
show.
on our shows.
It was pretty much like that.
Yeah.
And I had we interviewed a stuntman that was in like all the Marvel movies, like all the
Marvel movies.
Pretty much, he was in all the Black Panthers, all of the Avengers, and like all kinds of other projects that you've heard of because he's a stuntman.
Right.
So we interviewed him, and from
he's like, "Yo, come be an actor."
No, he wasn't even from that. That was actually the guy that's directing this film that we just shot. Okay. He was he helped with makeup in one of our photo shoots. We did a horror kind of themed photo shoot a couple years ago, and he helped with the makeup. So he kind of thought about us when he was casting, or thought about me when he was casting. So that was kind of how I got into this movie.
Well, you have no acting experience.
No.
Or anything.
No, I had to send in an audition tape. So it was more like from that. And I've always
sent
been
it in,
character.
so like you wanted to be an actor.
Yes, but I've had him on my Facebook from the interviews and from having him do that or from doing that makeup from that photo shoot. So when he said he was doing a movie and needed actresses, he was like, I'll audition. So
what was in this tape? So like, it's just like, what, he did like a bit? Like what?
Well, he sent a part of the script that he wanted everyone to kind of copy, and apparently when he saw mine, like he was with him and another producer or director or whatever, and they both really liked my video and agreed that I was the right person for that part.
And now you're shooting this horror movie.
And now I shot the horror movie.
Don't tell me you're that girl who fucking walks to the wrong place by herself.
It honestly seems like that.
Oh fuck, dude. Can't you be like, yo,
everywhere.
Don't do this shtick.
Even for New York, when I went for New York Fashion Week, everything was booked because it was New York Fashion Week. So everything was booked, and I had 3 days to get everything prepared. And I was spending like $30 to sleep on this guy's couch from Airbnb.
Shit.
Yeah. And so I show up at this guy's door, and I knock, and he opens the door, and then he shuts it on me. So now I'm standing in like downtown Brooklyn, or like in Brooklyn with my Betty Boop luggage all alone. I'm like, I don't know anyone in New York. I call Airbnb. I'm like, I don't know what to do. I was like, this guy's not letting me in his house. I was like,
Just cause, like, he's just like, fuck you, like.
There was no explanation. He opened the door.
Not
I
even
guess he
a
didn't
fuck
like what
you?
he saw and shut it. And we had been in communication the whole time, so he knew like I was on my way. He knew like I was coming. The Airbnb.
Meanwhile, people see you on the walkway,
Exactly.
and they're like, damn, please find her number.
Yeah. So by the time I went around the corner and had a drink at the bar, the Airbnb had called me and like, okay, well, can you get to this address? So it's like, yeah. So I was like, I don't even care what it is at this point because I was going to sleep on this guy's couch.
Right.
So I get there and it's a penthouse suite in downtown Manhattan.
Nice.
Like next to the Empire State Building. I got a private rooftop balcony and
this
everything.
is complimentary, I assume.
The $30 a night that I paid for the guy's couch, and then they gave me a credit.
Winner.
Right? So I had the best time in New York just for Fashion Week, just from being in the right place at the right time.
Well, the wrong place at the right time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's like, I'll book that guy's apartment every time I go to New York now.
So sick. Oh my
See
god.
what happened.
That's actually like such a giga brain move. All right.
Yeah,
Wow.
Airbnb.
Well,
Love
it was
them.
definitely nice talking to you. I
nice
don't know if
meeting
you
you
want
too.
to
Do you
tell
have
me
a
more
card or
stuff.
anything?
I don't have a card, unfortunately.
No, you don't have
Yeah.
cards?
I know,
You
right?
need
I try to stay
cards.
like under the radar a little bit.
Yeah, I'm going to
For the
follow
time
you
being.
now. I'm going to have to take a picture.
Yeah, follow me
RideLight?
definitely. Yeah.